Hello. Um, Over the summer, instead of coming back to the CBG, I worked at Baxter Pharmaceutical, and at Baxter, I was mainly around things such as well, up here you see what Baxter is mainly about, more things for medication, how if you're on their products, usually it means something bad has happened, so usually you would probably not want to be, but all products are still developed just in case the worst comes about. I work in the EHS department, that's environmental health and safety, and basically what I did, I was looking over the sustainability in water conservation and watershed protection. For projects, I was working with three main tools, and I also used benchmarking. I'll get that in a second. And basically for Baxter, it has many responsibilities, but one in particular is the protection of water supplies and to make sure water is seen as a global resource. Sorry, I'm stuttering, but the first tool I worked with was a global water tool, the WBCSD tool. Basically, its use for a measurement of water, to find a renewable water supply, access to improved water, and freshwater consumption. And the results were our results were to assess the watershed areas where Baxter operates. As you can see here, here's a small layout of our Baxter's operations. If you're looking at the blue circles, stars, or square, you either see industrial facilities, suppliers, and office spaces. In the green areas, pretty much that means water is abundant, and if you look toward the Midwest, that's where you live, it's pretty well off, but then again, this was taken in '95, so things may have changed. As you can see in Brazil, it was green, but in the last 10 years, it's not shown here, but it's pretty much reaching a close yellow to maybe mid-green. In Africa, it's still about the same. And here's a small layout of what the tool looked like. As you can see here, it's basically laid out in numerical data in terms of the water supply, the ratio of total water use, and basically laid out in site name, country name, and basin name. The second tool I used was a series Agust tool, and that was to evaluate the company's water sustainability program. And basically, it went in categories from no evidence, initial steps, advanced progress, and leading practice. Some of the results, basically, it went from 1.1 to 4.3, and for 1.7 was one example of there being no evidence, and for 4.3 it was an example of being in leading practice. For no evidence, unfortunately, there was identifying and quantifying water-related risk in terms of supply chain, and for leading practice, which was a good one, which was providing third-party assurance or audits water-related information. The last thing I did was possibly my favorite was the benchmarking, and basically I was looking through companies such as Coke, Pepsi, Miller, Coors, and Levi's to assess their best practices. What I was basically doing was I was looking at their water conservation projects, their measurement, and how they measured their progress over the years, and also their sustainability. And basically, after the last 8 weeks, I was able to develop a spreadsheet which will show the best practices that Baxter can learn from. The reason you won't see it today is because I have 4 slots left, and I didn't want to show incomplete information from it. So I'll probably be showing it to Baxter tomorrow. In terms of personal experience, I would have to say it was easier than other jobs, although in the beginning, it was kind of different to get used to, because in the past I've worked in a DNA lab, I've worked in computer labs, I've worked in the woods. I've never actually worked in an office before, so that was kind of different to, wrap my head around, but after a while I kind of got used to it. In terms of PDF reading, I was reading PDFs per week that would range from about 12 slides to about maybe 92 at the most. And I had no problem reading the slides, though it did take a long time to get through them. And I also enjoyed meeting people who've been in the field for years and enjoyed the quiet workspace, although I did have to leave a few times because if you're working in a cubicle, you kind of need to get out of there every once in a while. And I also want to say thank you to everybody I met at Baxter, as well as the people from the CVG who allowed me to have a great time this summer. So, thank you.